What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. Hope you guys had a great break, like we did.
White and the black there.
Oh, the white and black cleats. Something I've done since college. So, called the yin and the yang, white and black working together. We're all brothers. We're doing it together.
Jay was just talking yesterday about what a great job you've done and what a great job Sean has done with you with the above the neck stuff. So much has been made about, your ability to read defenses and all that type of stuff. Is it encouraging for you? You got two coaches who are saying, look, this guy can get this done.
Oh, and I mean, it's you don't go from the ability to read defenses one year and not have that ability the next. So I don't believe that one bit. And it's really just a good thing to have two coaches that believe in you. So Sean and Jay have done a great job. They've given me a lot on my shoulders in that quarterback room. And, I cherish that. You want to be asked to do more or just to do the bare minimum. And as a quarterback, you have to have that fire in your heart that says when things are going wrong that you're going to get it right.
Obviously a little tougher to work in the rain. How did today's workout go?
Yeah, I think today is one of those things. You said when things are going wrong as an offense, we weren't as efficient as we wanted to be today all around, including myself. So it's a good thing to have to work through the rain and have to throw those wet footballs and have to catch those wet footballs and have to work on the quarterback center exchange, all those things. So you start camp, there's a lot of excitement, football's back, and then you have a practice like today where the weather plays a huge factor, and you have to kind of, block that out. So I think today's practice, we got better as a football team just having to go through the rough practice.
Robert, to go back to Jason's question, how much mentally have you learned this offseason?
It was really about learning a new offense, learning how Jay and Sean are going to want to call the offense, how they play situational football. It's just a huge, feel-out process about just getting to know a new coach, getting to know a new offense, and then getting to know some of the new weapons that we have.
Robert, obviously when you go 3-13, you're itching to get back. And I'm curious, your mindset, you walk out today, you hear people yelling the name and all that stuff, just how good it must feel to be back to make amends after last year.
Oh, man, it's fun, man. Football is fun. That's what it's supposed to be about. So I think everybody stepped on the field today with an excitement, knowing that football games that are going to be played against other teams are right around the corner. But we have to get through this grind, or as you like to call it, the find through camp, find out who's going to be the playmakers for us, and move on from there. But we're all excited, ready to go, and tomorrow's practice will be better than today's, and that's how it should be every single day.
Robert, how much different do you feel entering this camp just because of the offseason, because no knee, and because of whatever other distractions? How much different do you feel?
Yeah, I think everybody feels different in the organization. We just have an opportunity to come in with a lot more energy. There's a togetherness in that locker room and in the building. For me personally, obviously, not having to come off of a knee surgery is a big boost for me. Having the opportunity to work on my craft throughout the offseason with my QB coach and with Sean and Jay while we're there or be allowed to be in the building. So it's been great, just being able to hang out with the guys, be around them, and I look forward to it.
Things as a quarterback that you feel you can do now that maybe you couldn't have done before just because of the sort of offseason you've had?
No, there's this difference in coming back from a knee injury and rehabbing as opposed to being able to work on your craft throughout the whole offseason. So I think we all know in this room it's beneficial to be out there at practice. It's beneficial to be able to not have to worry about an injury. That's that. But other than that, I don't pay that stuff any mind. I'm ready to go.
Robert, Jay mentioned yesterday, his desire for any quarterback, especially a young quarterback such as yourself, is to learn from mistakes. Now that you're in your third year and you said feeling more prepared, specifically or situationally, how do you think you master or learn from mistakes or perhaps not dwell on them? Like, how has that changed for you?
Yeah, it's just a part of playing the game. The more you play, the more you grow. There's no magic thing that I can say. Everyone's going to have their opinion about whatever anybody needs to work on. But like you said, learn from your mistakes. Don't make them over and over again. And that's part of playing quarterback. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over, you're not going to be out there. And that's something I pride myself on, being able to adapt and learn whatever coach is trying to teach me in a rep. So I'm excited. Like I said, like I told you guys, we are prepared. I'm prepared because of the 2 years of playing experience, just knowing what to expect coming in the league and go out there and have fun.
Robert, you had high school coaches, you had Art in college, you had the Shanahans the last 2 years. How much do you look at what you've learned from Jay and Sean so far? How much is this another level of coaching? How much has their insight helped you kind of take things to a different dimension?
Yeah, every coach does things differently. So this whole offseason with Jay and Sean, I've had an opportunity to learn their philosophy, learn what they want to work on, learn what they deem is necessary to be successful. So like I said, every coach has his own philosophy. I feel like I've learned a lot from them already and look forward to continuing to learn from them.
You and Deshaun Jackson clearly have a big year ahead of you, it seems like. Had a couple plays where tried to connect deep. How's the chemistry coming along between you two?
I mean, me and Deshaun, I think our chemistry is there. One practice doesn't tell you anything about chemistry. I know you guys don't get to see us that often, but, there was the first day back. We don't use that as an excuse, but he knows if I miss him one time, I'm going to get him the next, and if he misses something, that he'll make that play for me. So that chemistry's there. He's a dynamic football player, and we look forward to him making dynamic plays.
Robert, so much last year was made of your relationship with Coach Shanahan, and earlier today, started practice, I saw you go over to Coach Gruden and just kind of give him a little bit of a playful bear hug. And what's your relationship like with him, and how has that relationship kind of matured since he first took the job?
I mean, it's just a normal head coach quarterback relationship. Jay's a guy, like I said, he brings a lot of energy. He's funny. He's personable. But, we're just excited to have him here, excited for a new year. And like we said, everybody's 0-0. Doesn't matter what happened last year. We won the division one year, didn't win the division the next. This year we look forward to getting back on top.
Robert, talked a lot about mechanics and the different things that you wanted to work on and that Jay and Sean wanted you to work on. Every day, how hard is it for you to repeat maybe what you did right from the previous day or the previous week, to be consistent in your mechanics so that you're doing everything they want you to do and you want to do?
I mean, it's not difficult at all. In my opinion, you can never get tired of doing things the right way. And that goes for every quarterback in this league. We're all trying to find little ways to get better, little ways to have that advantage. So that's really what they want me to work on, and it's just about being mentally ready for each practice. Just being hard on yourself and knowing that as long as I do these things and have a checklist when you go into each practice, what you want to accomplish. And when you come out of practice, look at that checklist. If you got everything, you still write down a checklist for the next day. So it's not hard at all to me. Getting water droplets on my hands.
Robert, over here to your left. Jay said yesterday, reps, reps, reps. That's what you need. That's what a lot of the people need here. More work. But is that something you embraced coming off last year when maybe you felt like you could go ahead and do more than you were being allowed to do? Is that something that gets you excited when you hear that you're going to be working a lot out here this year?
No, I mean, that's just the norm. I mean, every quarterback needs reps. No quarterback likes to go into a year with no reps. So I think Jay's just, we have to come up here and talk to you guys, and you guys are awesome. Y'all look beautiful today, but we have to come out here and talk to you guys, and a lot of it is just it's fillers. Everyone has to work hard. Everyone needs reps to be successful. So, I'm glad to be able to come into a training camp without having to worry about reps. I know I'm going to get them. I know I'm going to work hard, and I know the guys around me are going to work hard, and we're going to get better together.
Jay. Oh.
Tony Wiley said I'm done, so I'm done.
He's done. That's a relative term.
Working out there in the rain, how'd you feel first practice win and your impressions?
Felt good. Felt good. When we first walked out and saw the rain, we were like, man, please, cancel practice. And then when we saw that it wasn't raining that hard, we was like, all right, let's go ahead and try to get this done. So we had fun. We're all kind of itching to get back out there on the field. So we're excited to get out there and get it on.
Want to ask you about Robert, who just walked out the room here. Do you notice a difference in him this year? Just a lot of dynamics were surrounding him going into last year's training camp. He seems to be more loose, more relaxed. As a teammate, what do you see?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the stress is kind of off him. You know, like you said, worrying about reps, you know, worrying about a head coach who you don't really know about if he likes you, if he doesn't like you, you know, things like that. So, you know, from the jump, from the moment Jay came in here, you know, I think Robert kind of knew that Jay wanted him. He wanted to coach him. You know, he felt like he could be special, and you know, we all see that. And you know, it's going to take a lot of work, but you know, from each and every one of us on that field. But you know, we understand the task that's at hand, and you know, we're ready to you know, to go out there and battle.
Hey there. Could you talk a little bit about where you think specifically the secondary needs improvement, and a little bit about having Ryan back there this year?
As far as what we need to get better at, a little bit of everything. You know, it wasn't really one particular thing that kind of hurt us. It was a little bit of everything in different games, whether it was tackling in one game, whether it was giving up explosive plays. You know, and having a guy like Ryan, just, you know, he's just a student of the game. You know, he can not only, you know, line everybody up, but he can go out there and make plays. You know, he's going to be another physical presence back there in that secondary that, you know, as corners you love to have, because, you know, guys aren't going to want to run across the middle knowing that Ryan Clark's going to hit him, or, you know, Brandon Merriweather's going to hit him. And then, you know, he's a guy that I feel like can just help our young guys. You know, we drafted some young guys last year that can play football, but they didn't have a guy back there who could really teach them and, you know, relay to them, you know, the things they needed to know to be a professional athlete. And, you know, Ryan can definitely do that for us as well. And, you know, I think our young guys are going to benefit so much from having a guy like Ryan who's just the ultimate pro.
D'Angelo, with London gone and you were just talking about Ryan, can you talk about how you've kind of grown into more of a leadership role, both on the field and in the organization, and just how much, I guess, more comfortable you feel in that area maybe than you did 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, you know, this is going to be the first camp in a long time, you know, that I hadn't had a guy like Fletcher around. So, you know, it's definitely the onus is on me. You know, meeting with Jay this offseason, he kind of stressed that to me, and, you know, I embraced it. You know, I felt like I was ready for it. London, you know, I try to stay in his hip pocket as much as possible. So, you know, I'm definitely up for the challenge. You know, I understand it's not about me, it's about this team, and, you know, I'm just trying to get everybody better. You know, if I can have David Amerson or some of these other young guys step up and make plays, you know, that's ultimately what I want to happen. I want those guys to eventually take over when I'm done, or I can't do it anymore.
I know it's only been you know, one day, but you can look back to OTAs. How much do you think Jim Haslett and the rest of those defensive coaches have been given the free rein to run this defense like they want?
I mean, you can definitely see it already. You know, you can see it in the off-season program. You know, coming out here today, you know, we got a chance to really just try to put ourselves in position to make plays. You know, we talked this whole off-season about, you know, some things we did last year that we could have did better, and some things that probably we shouldn't have called that, you know, that we're going to try to stay away from. So, I mean, we're just trying to put ourselves in, you know, in the right position to make plays, and, you know, the coaches have done a great job of just kind of going in a think tank, and, you know, everybody's putting their opinions out there, and we're laying it all on the table, whether it's players or coaches, and, you know, coming back with a formula, and hopefully that's a successful one.
D, you're coming off one of your best seasons. How do you feel as you enter this season, and what's the key to maintaining that level and continuing just another year?
I mean, just to keep going out there trying to get better. You know, the goal is, you know, to always try to win football games. You know, it's not about my individual success. You know, it's about us trying to win games. And, you know, for me, it's doing whatever the team ask me to do. Whether it's go out and follow a receiver, whether it's, you know, go to somebody else because, you know, David Amerson's playing great ball, and then that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, mentally, I'm just in a place where, I mean, I know I don't have a lot of football left, so I'm just trying to go out there and have as much fun as possible, lay it all on the line, not leave anything in the tank. So, you know, when I do walk away from this game, that I feel good about it. And, you know, that's kind of been my approach, whether it's been out here in practice this offseason or, you know, even last year. I just wanted to go out there and have fun and, you know, try to help us win as many games as possible.
Physically, though, you feel good? That,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel great. You know, I feel great. That run test, I think everybody on the roster was kind of dreading it a little bit yesterday. But, you know, to have that done and back to football, I mean, everybody feels great. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a guy who got hamstrings and things like that. So, I mean, no real nagging injuries or anything like that. So, I'm about as healthy as I'm going to be right now, so I feel good about it.
D'Angelo, there was some debate in the offseason among corners, who's the best, who does this great, who does this. You had a couple tweets the other night, seemed a little bit annoyed that maybe you weren't more in that conversation. And, first of all, do you feel you should be? And where do you feel you stack up among those guys at this point? You're the best. Go right ahead.
Well, Jay Reed, I mean, as a corner, if you don't feel like you're the best, you got a problem right there. But, I never said I was the best. I'd be a fool to think 11 years in I'm the best in the game right now. But I definitely think I'm pretty successful at doing what I do. And like I said, man, if you really watch film, let's go watch film, and I put my film against any corner in the league, and we'll see what he does. We'll see what I do, and we can go from there. But I definitely think that if you put me out there against a receiver, any one of them, I'll take my chances. But I never said I was the best, but I definitely feel like I should be in the conversation.
What's with you, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe my reputation. My reputation kind of precedes me a little bit, but it is what it is. I don't go out there to try to please the media or the guys who are ranking corners. That probably early in my career I did, but now I'm all about just the proof's in the pudding. At the end of the day, I got to line up against this guy. This is what he did. It's not about me saying I can do this or I can do that. At some point, I'm gonna have to face Calvin. I'm gonna have to face Dez and all these other guys, and I'll let my play speak for itself. But if you sit down and watch film and compare my numbers against those guys, any corner, I'll take myself in a heartbeat.
D, oftentimes when people talk about the Redskins and they do their analysis, they say they'll be okay if the defense rises up, if the secondary improves. How does that's got to stick in your craw a little bit when you hear that over and over? It's the secondary. It's the secondary. It's the secondary.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the weak link in any business, any organization. Nobody wants to be the weak link. So, we understand that. We hear that too, and we work just as hard. We're working even harder because we don't want to be the ones that let everybody else down. So, you best believe myself, Ryan, Brandon. We're ready to roll. We're ready to roll. We're ready to go out there and make as many plays as possible. We understand we got a lot of high-profile guys on that offensive side of the ball, and we don't mind putting that hard hat on and going to work. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna carry that lunch pail, Virginia Tech style.
Spoke to a player who said he noticed about Robert that in leadership this third year that he speaks up much more as opposed to being perhaps shy, especially his rookie year, as someone who's known to speak up quite a bit. What have you noticed in his development there? Maybe any guidance you've given as well?
I think he's becoming a pro. He's been in this league. This will be his third year. He's had highs, he's had lows. He's probably came in here and said the wrong thing a time or two. And, he understands that. And, he's learned from those mistakes, and, he'll be better about that. And that's growing him into the person he is right now. And, that's like you said, that's a guy who understands what it takes to be a quarterback in the National Football League. He understands he's going to have a microscope on himself, his life, 24/7. And, he relishes that. And, we're going to stand behind him. He also understands it's not just about him. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think, guys thought he was going to be a certain way. He came here kind of more reserved, wanted to earn that respect, and, he's definitely earned it from everybody in his locker room. And so, now he's definitely one of those leaders on offense that can go in there and, say what needs to be said and, help those guys get it done.
Okay, thanks.
Make it a good one.
You let me know. Yesterday, Coach Gruden said basically that everybody who's not a Seattle Seahawk ought to be starting the season with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove. And you've certainly addressed kind of your feelings about the perception of your play and the unit. But can you speak sort of for the Redskins defense heading into this season? What's the mindset of the defense, and is there a chip on the shoulder, and is that good, if so?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question. Great way to finish it up. Absolutely is a chip on our shoulder. Seeing Seattle go out there and have a dominant defense and, going into this offseason, they're what everyone's talking about. And so, everybody wants that kind of attention and that kind of love. So, we all got a chip on our shoulder, not just the secondary. We all want to be great. We all want to hold that trophy up at the end of the year, and they have what everybody else wants. And, no matter how high-powered our offense is, you can't win without a defense that's going to get turnovers and give the offense a chance to make plays and, keep other teams from scoring. And, watching Seattle, the way they approach their team, I think it's the blueprint. Have a pass rush, have secondary players that can make plays, corners that can, press guys and, frustrate receivers, have linebackers that can run and make plays, have an offense that can obviously score points when they need to and, dynamic players on that side. And that's the formula. That's the formula right now in this league. I remember when the Patriots were doing it their way. That was a formula for a while. And, myself included, I'm a Peyton Manning fan, so it was no reason I thought, the Broncos, weren't going to win a Super Bowl. So, to just watch the way Seattle didn't care what anybody else said and they approached it, it was an amazing game to watch, from a defensive standpoint. And that's definitely going to be our mindset. We're going to go out there, try to let our pass rushers rush. Secondary players got to go out there and be physical and make plays. And, we got to get the offense as many opportunities as possible for them to score, and that's what we're going to try to do. So, yeah, we all got a chip on our shoulders as a defense, as a team to win 3 games last year. That takes a toll on you physically and mentally. So we're happy right now. We're undefeated, and we're ready to roll.
Thanks, Leandro.
Thank you.